Hello everyone and welcome to the Grove. My name is Hawk and today I'm doing a bit of a showcase of what I have of Camp Terracotta because I realized that although I made the cabins for Camp Terracotta, which are over here, I never actually got around to showcasing them in the world. I only have that one video where I go into designing all of them and showcasing the cabin specifically and didn't go over the rest of the buildings that I have. I must have built them and then forgot. Although a few of the buildings, such as the office and what I assume was supposed to be a storage and greenhouse, those I had to build this year, but the rest of it didn't. Uh, I did make more angles for the cabins, so they're more interesting than just the plain ones, such as this cabin or this cabin where they're just kind of rotated. And instead I have ones on angles, so they look more interesting than the original designs. I also have bathrooms with indicators, which will be in pretty most buildings. However, the cabin ones also have showers, so people can actually shower. Because this is supposed to represent like an actual camp. And like an actual camp, you have the center area, where you have a place to eat, to socialize, maybe have sort of meetings, whether it's a full camp meeting or just a counselor's meeting. You have just an area with a stage and places to sit, and of course bathroom, but you also have a kitchen, which you can't access here from inside the building. And it has a storage area, you have places where you can cook food, you have a center table, and yeah, you have blast furnaces and smokers because blast furnaces look like ovens. Then smokers are actually functional, and then miscellaneous furnace. Yeah. I really like the shape of the building, just because it's not what I would have expected. I usually use function, form follows function for me when I build. And so, although this has a very interesting shape, I think it works really nice together. The right amount of detail. Originally this was going to be an octagon, but that didn't end up happening, and that's okay. Then you have the next building I built was the library. This was before the chiseled bookshelves, but I think I like the library as it is currently, although if it were to actually use this as a survival thing, I probably would have chiseled bookshelves, at least on a few of them. So you can actually roleplay getting a book and sitting down. And the reason I have slabs specifically for seating is so that even if you don't have a mod where you can sit on the slabs, you can still be lower. It still feels like you're sitting down a little bit. It just felt better. And of course, bathroom's over here, also planned. That's the library. And then over here is the nurse's station. You have a storage room. You have the bathrooms. We have this area where which is the main treatment area. So this is in case somebody just needed to either waiting, although they can wait out here, or say they broke a leg and just need to wait before getting more treatment, they can wait here. Although we do have a couple private rooms in case someone's maybe sick and you don't want the illness to spread or something. And there aren't any windows in the building because artificial light is easier to control, and in case of people having migraines and not wanting bright lights. Next is the workshop area. So you have anvils, you have the stone cutter, you have blast furnaces. I just realized I don't have a smithing table in here, so I would need to add that. Smithing table. So let's just add those there. So actually just keep this in line with the window. And then you have your crafting tables. Then you have your sort of redstone bits plus pot. And they have pots here. You also have sort of not leatherworking, sort of textiles. So you have some cauldrons, so these could be drying. And you have weaving and looms, so you have a blue one already done. White one looks like it's in progress. And then you have what may be a cape and helmet, because you have this elytra going into the helmet. And then the bathrooms are over here. And you also have a storage area over here. And you do have back entrance just for fun, and in case I want to add a campfire area here later, which I might. Next is the office. You have the starting area, so you have a place for receptionists to be in case you need to grab something. You also have a crafting table, which is meant to be here. It's in some case someone quickly needs to craft something. And you also have bathrooms here in case somebody just needs to run in and use the bathroom. Then you have the banners representing the cabin groups. So you have the shades, so black, white, light gray, dark gray. Then you have the fire colors, so yellow, orange, red, and brown. Then you have the sort of nature colors, so you have light green, dark green, and brown again, and brown is supposed to represent wood in both those. And then we have white borders in the next two. It's just in general, the blues are light blue, cyan, and deep blue. Then you have the pinks, so you have pink, magenta, and purple. And the white on the pink, purple, the white terracotta looks pinkish, so figured it'd work for the banner. Even though the light gray is supposed to, the cyan looks gray, so it could have had a gray border. I decided on just white, so that matched with the white border of the pinks and purple, because I really liked the idea of having brown be the border color for the greens, just because it looked better than any alternative. So I figured I'd just have instead of just having the dark gray standing out, I decided just have another white so that it felt like, oh, this is how this set's supposed to be. And of course I snuck in some storage and an anvil. But of course you do have hallways with some more plants. So you have sort of a general counselor's area. These are probably more like either the interns or the volunteers. Just a general counselor's area. And you have someone who's a little bit more high up, maybe likes fire because fire imagery is on this wall, but also likes adventure, so the fighting on this wall. I had a hard time decorating the two walls because I wanted at least seating in the center, so that took up some ideas. But I think I liked it. And then of course you have this storage design where you have the chest, the slab, and barrel, which I have in other points in buildings as well. And I also have snuck in an anvil and crafting table because I could. Of course, to round out the room, I also used the what's it called? The walls. I thought it was just a good addition, and it did help sort of make that section of the room less empty. Because I felt like I should put something there, but didn't know what. But putting the walls there helped close in the room a little bit without making it feel too claustrophobic a little bit, or too. It was a good mid ground of keeping it not empty, but also not being too blocky. for lack of better term. And then the white banner is just supposed to be blinds. So it's as if the person drew the blinds to be more private, such as in here as well. And then again with the walls acting as sort of a pillar in the corner. And then of course more storage, like you see in the previous room. And you also have crafting table and anvil, and the lectern just for fun, mainly. And of course you have a waiting area couch and bathrooms. And then in the final build, you have a storage area. So this holds like extra tools for the camp, food, really anything that wouldn't normally be in the workshop area. So I really liked how it turned out. And I also liked how this hallway turned out. I might use it for like an apartment building build, just because I like the inset plants. They work very nice. It keeps the path open, yet makes the walls a little more decorated. It was hard to figure out what to do with this wall because I felt like there would just be empty space, but I didn't want just to have a bunch of chests everywhere. So it sort of worked. Although it was challenging on this because you just have a pillar in the center here. But that's alright. You do have a place for a composter and you can fit the double chests. That works well. And you have the ability to have different rows for the different plants. And there's water here. So that fits nice. And I like the packed mud that's down below. It's a good mixture of, it's softer than regular dirt. And regular dirt is a bit boring, or would be a bit boring. And I didn't just want to do grass because again, because grass would just turn into dirt, and I didn't want it to just be oak. So packed mud is sort of like a good mixture. I did try out mud itself, but it seemed too dark, so I went with the packed version instead. And I believe I did showcase the bathrooms, I believe. And there are shower stalls, but other than that, I think the last thing is I did make sure to add life to the little moat. There would be fish, except they'd keep getting caught in like this area specifically and end up kind of just not doing much. That didn't, so while there could be fish, there isn't any. There's just plant life. Although I tried to use tricks to make it where there's not just the standard vanilla lily pads, but also the red ones. I went with red because I thought, because I wanted to add red to the bottom. So, and the trick would only work with trapdoors. And there wasn't anything brown I wanted to add to the bottom, so it was just to keep the color consistency. So yeah, that's my little showcase. Just a simple video, but I hope you enjoyed watching it regardless. And if you did enjoy it, thank you, because I like producing content. And so I'm glad you enjoyed it. But anyways, I hope you have a good day, night, whatever time it is for you. Hope to see you next time, and goodbye.